tell her it's over? How can I tell her it's over? How can I tell her when she's still got it? When I still got my Xbox at her house, when she's still got it. The first date we had, we just sat in my car and said, do you have fancy me? And I turned around and said, oh. So he carried on like blah blah blah. She said, I ain't gonna shag you, but you can get in me bra. I thought to myself, no, I don't want to miss this. At the time it was the top of my Christmas wish list. I couldn't believe as they put up a fight, as I had a good grope and I snogged her all night. It wore till the next night that I slipped her a Swift and I had more meat on her than a pie factory in Tipton. Looking back, it was too good to be true. It blew my mind and that ain't all that she blew. It was then I realised I wanted more than a friend. It was hard to know her drive me round the bend. Looking back, her bike was worse than a bark, but that's what birds I'm like from Friar Park. How can I tell her it's over? How can I tell her it's over? How can I tell her it's over? How can I tell her when she's still got it? When I still got my Xbox at her house, when she's still got it. Now 6 months on and I'm stuck in a rut. There ain't nothing romantic about a walk down the cut when it's pissing it down and you're under a brolly, trying to avoid the shit and the shopping trolley. How can I tell her I just don't feel the same when I've still got my Xbox and about 15 games? There's no way that I could say that it was all a facade. It's got 3 big brothers and they're all fucking hard. Sorry. I took myself to the first time we kissed. Now I'm confused.com. I guess I must have been pissed. Suppose she just man up and just tried to be brave. I know I've got a tendency to misbehave. It was a matter of time till she'd be untrue. Although till now, I don't have a clue about all the other chaps that she'd seen she'd do. So now he sees me to turn around and just go. How can I tell her it's over? How can I tell her it's over? How can I tell her it's over? How can I tell her when she's still got it? When I still got my Xbox at her house, when she still got it. How can I tell her it's over? How can I tell her it's over? How can I tell her it's over? How can I tell her when she still got it? When I still got my Xbox at her house, when she still got it. Right, so very much. Really appreciate that. Give us a cheer if you've got kids. Give us a cheer if you ain't got kids. See how much happier the second love sounded than the first love. Because kids ruin your life, don't they, generally? Yeah, they do. It's horrible. I was at the birth of my child and it was horrific. Is there anyone expecting at the moment? There was a few fatties at the bar earlier, but it's hard to tell age sometimes. Whether they're in the family way or just carrying a few pounds before Christmas. But I was there, and the only advice I'd give to a prospective father going into the birth of his child is stay at the home end. Don't go down the away end. The only way I could describe it is like watching your local burn down. You know, they'll do it up, but it'll never be the same again. I've got a son. Well, I think he's mine. And he's getting a bit older now, and he started to ask me for some advice about girls. And I'm probably not the best to ask seeing as I'm not with his mother anymore. But he sat me down one day and he said, Dad, I'll just play the song, it's quicker. I could do that for ages. Now my son once said to me, Dad, can I ask you your advice? And it ain't very often he comes to me. I thought, bloody hell, that's nice. I said, take a sight, son, and tell me all that's on your mind. Oh, I may not have the answer, but you know I've got the time. He said, Dad, I've met this lovely wench and has really bossed in stuff. As fit and funny and sexy, and I just can't get enough. Has got eyes like the ocean and her moves in a great way. I'd love to tell her how I feel, but I don't know what to say. As I laid down my pint and I looked deep into his eyes, and I knew that this was no time to talk bullshit or tell lies. I said, son, what I'm about to say might not come out that nice, but you've come to me for honesty and this is my advice. Pull an ugly bed, mate, that's where the true love's at. They won't stray very far if them dead ugly and them fat, and you won't lose any friends cause they won't shag her behind your back. They'll always get around in and they're better in the sack. I'm laughing because it's true. He said, what about love and feeling happy and alive? I said, never mind that, has it got a job and I bet that's hardcore drive. I'll tell you son, hand on heart, that this is my belief. Yeah, I'm better off if there's by side with loads of missing teeth. You don't want a blonde beauty, you'll just hate it when you fart. Or a little Latino lovely, you know, will only go and bust your heart. They're all lovely when you meet them, son, but I'll tell you, that's just the start. Yeah, I want someone that looks at them when pulling on a cart. So pull an ugly bed, mate, that's where the true love's at. They won't stray very far if them dead ugly and them fat, and you won't lose any friends cause they won't shag her behind your back. They'll always get around in and they're better in their sack. I'm having a few difficulties. Some pound and fucking leave. He said, I can't believe you, I'm saying that. Is that what you think about mom? I said, don't be daft, your mom's a belter. Where do you think that I learned this from? It's got eyes like an angel and a cracking pair of tits. I've been with her for years and now my nerves are shot to bits. Play it safe, son, don't go for an actress or a singer. You won't believe the loyalty that you'll get from a minger. They just might just clean around the house and a fat bird cool off cook. Just remember you gotta shut your eyes when her needs are good. So pull an ugly bird, mate, that's where the true love's at. They won't stray very far if them dead ugly and them fat, and you won't lose any friends cause they'll shag her behind your back. They'll always get around in and they're better in the sack. So pull an ugly bird, mate, that's where the true love's at. They won't stray very far if them dead ugly and them fat, and you won't lose any friends cause they'll shag her behind your back. They'll always get around in and they're better in the sack. Said they'll always get around in, they're better in the sack. I said they'll always get around in, they're better in the sack. I said they'll always get around in. Very much. I write a lot about relationships and stuff like that because relationships are hard, ain't they? Because when you think about it, blokes are loving and attentive and focused. No, I'll stick with me. There's I hear some of my mates say, I've met this wench, right, and I can't stop thinking about her. It's ruining my life. In fact, if I can't have this wench in my life moving forward, I don't know how I'm ever going to move on. But you only ever hear birds say that about shoes, do you? So we don't stand a chance, really. And them sneaky things, women. I'll give you an example. I was with a young lady once and I was caught mucking about. And I ain't proud of it. But in my defence, the bird I was seeing was much fitter than her. I'm only joking. No, I'm not. And she left me, but it wasn't enough that she went and left me. But when she left the house, she took the telly remote. Just to be horrible. That's harsh, isn't it? There was me trying to watch Top Gear in the evening, she kept driving past putting fucking Emma down. So funny. I've written a song about it. You might recognise the tune and it goes like this. Said I remember when I used to sit in a council flat in Wednesbury. I used to flick through 500 channels of shit while me wench would make my tea. And then she found out I'd been naughty. And what a thing to do. It's not enough that you'd go and leave me, but you took the remote with you. No woman, no sky. No woman, no sky. No gold, no sky sports. 1, 2 or 3. No woman, no sky. Said I remember wanting round for days, digging down the side of the settee. No remote, no happiness. In fact, all that I could find was 2 pennies, a pen top and some spaghetti. And then you text me, have you got it? You just replied, fuck you. If I knew where you were, I'd come and grab it. 'Cause all I've got now is free view. No woman, no sky. No woman, no sky. No gold, no sky sports. 1, 2 or 3. No woman, no sky. She took off with my satellite. 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 Yeah. She took off with my satellite. No woman, no sky. Say no woman, no sky. I'm gonna do a couple more and I'm gonna piss off and leave you in peace. Who's playing anyway? Any good? I'll stay around. This is a lovely love song I wrote about a bird I saw at the KFC by Junction 9. It's a lovely song and it goes like this. It's a lovely little story and it happened to me. I saw her eating chicken down the KFC. She was there just enjoying a bucket. When I seen her bend over, I was tempted to ask for a number. I was satisfied of drawing a blank. I was sat imagining her having a wonderful time. And now I'll take you down to West Bromwich clubbing, and we can get legless or laughing and hugging. And I was blind but now I see. I ain't young but I'm dumb and I'm scared but I dare to believe I could be just the wench for me. I found love in the black country. Staring at the window, she was watching the cars. I wonder if she'd let me take her straight up the aisle, and then we could be there in the sun honeymooning. Am I moving too fast? I'd be happy with spooning. At first you might be thinking you need somebody posh, but just jump in my car and give me a quick run through and watch out for when you look for a man. I'll bend over backwards to the best that I can. And I was blind but now I see. I am young but I'm dumb and I'm scared but I dare to believe I can be just the wench